I was a tank commander during the battle, so it was, not like a IED attack or it was during a fight, and we were fighting with them. A lot of firing back and forth. We were very successful. We've been doing a pretty good job in there. I was a lead tank. It was on a cross street, and when I was coming through the cross street, they had two RPG shooters set up on my right side, one to my 9 degrees and one to about my 4 o'clock. I saw the one to my right. When I went to my machine gun to engage him, the one I didn't see put a rocket right in my hatch. And so the rocket actually hit me on the helmet, and that's probably what saved my life, is the fact that it didn't detonate through me. It detonated off of me and kind of away from me.
Gunnery Sergeant Nick Popovich was fighting for his life. It was up to his crew to save him. But they couldn't stop fighting. They had to press on, battling through insurgents until they could finally head for help.
Well, from there, they took me, because like I said, we're the lead element, so there was nothing coming to where I was at. So we went to like a triage site right outside the city.
Blinded by his injuries and deaf from the rocket blast, Popovich climbs from his tank as a CNN crew captures the frightening moments.
I had holes in my skull big enough to stick your finger in, and I had holes in my neck, and you ain't gonna last real long if somebody doesn't get that bleeding stopped and get it stopped pronto.
Days, weeks, months come and go, one operation after another. But for Gunny Popovich, the real battle is just starting. Shrapnel from the blast has damaged his optic nerve, and with only 8% of his vision recovered, he wonders where he might fit in. What can the Marine Corps offer him now?
The boat from sinking.
A bulkhead.
A bulkhead?
I have no idea.
Head of a torpedo, maybe?
A bulkhead? My house had one of those.
A large, bulky bathroom on a ship.
We used to cut wood and bring it down to the bulkhead. It's probably not what it means, though.
A bulkhead is any vertical partition on a ship. It's never called a wall.
From humble beginnings, the United States Marine Corps has grown and served in every major conflict our nation has faced. Marines take pride in this heritage. So on our 225th birthday, what better way to celebrate than on a search for our birthplace? We went to the city of Philadelphia to seek out Ton Tavern. We started by asking locals if they knew where the tavern was.
Ton Tavern should be around the corner there.
Recruiting office, the first recruiting office in Marine Corps.
Yes, it was.
That's about all I can tell you. But good luck in finding it.
This was going to be tough. We do know that Ton Tavern was built in 1685. It is linked to the Marine Corps through its proprietor, Robert Mullen. Mullen accepted a commission into the Continental Marines and raised his company at the tavern. Back to our search. Well, we weren't having much luck.
Where Ton Tavern used to be located. Have you heard that at all? No? Not at all.
I began to realize that my search for Ton Tavern was going to be harder than I thought. Our search led us to Independence Hall. On November 10th, 1775, the Continental Congress met here to vote our corps into existence. I knew I was getting close, if only someone could point me in the right direction.
I think that's on 3rd or 4th Street. If you just go through
It's still in the center city area.
We went downtown, but still no Ton Tavern. but we did find someone who could help.
This is the military museum, and here we're totally dedicated to telling the history of the military during the Revolution only. We've got on the first floor the history of the Marines, the Continental Marines. And we've got various artifacts that deal with the Marines here. We've got a drum and fife, because as you know, back then they actually literally drummed up troops. When a small detachment will go out with a drum and fife and go find people who, had nothing to do, and we'll go with them to the tavern, and you get a free meal, and you get a few drinks, and the next thing you know, you're signing on the dotted line.
Could he know where the tavern was?
It used to be located at the foot of Chestnut Street, and that is where they first recruited the Marines out of.
Finally, now we are on to something. Let's go.
All right, keep your eyes on the watch. You are getting very sleepy. Your eyelids are getting very heavy. And soon you will be under my control, my complete control. Now I want you to focus. I want you to clear your mind. You are alone in this room, just you and the November Hollands. On the surface, you are very interested in the pictures it holds. But as we dig deeper, much deeper, you are captured by the stories that tell of this thing called the fleet. You are gripped by the engaging stories. You feel yourself wanting to be a CB in paradise. Now concentrate. Imagine it is you that is biking across America. Can you feel the wind in your face? When I count to 3, you will come out of your deep sleep and become one with the November All Hands. You will be one with the fleet. But first, quack like a duck. I love that part.